Hello, this is Lesley Ormsby, psychic medium, teacher, healer of spiritual and mystical things. Oh, that's the teacher side of it. I just did that around a little bit back to front. So anyway, so welcome to my channel. This read is for the sign of Virgo for the month of May 2020. And yeah, so like I just said, welcome to my channel. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe to my my YouTube channel, which is, I think there's a button down below actually. And if this reading resonates with you, yeah, give it a thumbs up so I know if it does or not, and or leave a comment. So that'll be really cool. So the other thing is, like I say, these are for the sign of Virgo. So, and also this, when I say Virgo, it may resonate with you if you are here and you're watching under the signs of the Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign. So it will cover all of those. If you don't know what I mean by that, there is a chart that is below. A chart. There is a link below that will take you to a website that has a calculator to let you know what other signs that you that resonate with you, that you fall under. So, for instance, I am a Gemini. I follow my sun sign mostly, which is an old star sign, which is what a lot of us do. However, I'd like to check out my moon, rising, and Venus signs because sometimes it gives me a little bit more of explanation of what's going on if I feel like I need to or want to. Otherwise, I'll just stick with my sun sign. So yeah, check that out. If this reading doesn't resonate with you, it could be that you may need a little bit more information with one of the other signs. Okay. Anyway, so on that note, so take only what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay. I think that's all I really need to do. Okay, done that. That went really quick in the end. So, which is interesting because this is the third time I have tried to record this video in the space of like 6 minutes. So this is the last time, and I just feel like because I keep like talking really fast, and I keep fluffing it up and stuff like that. So it's really interesting, and actually that's not me. That is, and I kind of knew it wasn't because in my meditation and before I started to connect with you, there was what I saw was like this round disc. And then it turned into, like, you might know what I'm talking about, what they call a lazy Susan, that gets put on your table or your bench, and it spins around. So you can like have different dishes, and everybody you turn it and you can reach that, blah blah blah. And anyway, so there was that, and then it turned. So some of you may be familiar with that going on in your life at the moment, and then it turned into a mouse wheel or a rat wheel. And so it's like and I saw an image of someone inside the mouse wheel, and someone on the outside of the mouse wheel. So, and which is really interesting. So whatever, so there's just 3 ways of explaining of what is going on. So some of you might be wanting to get off the rat race or get out of the rat race with the wheel, and maybe. And some of you, like who was with the lazy Susan in beginning was too, is that get off the merry-go-round, okay? Because it's kind of like, oh, well, so there's that sort of energy about it. And anyway, I'm going to just go with the cards now, okay? Because that I feel like is pretty much the theme of the energy for May, which you're probably already feeling right now, or beginning or in the midst of it. But going into May, it's like I feel like there's probably still going to be, we're starting for some of yous, and like I said, feeling it now it might be a little bit more intense in May. However, it's like I feel like this is, gosh, dude, it's like not getting on the wheel, or just like showing you, reminding you that you've been on the wheel before, and so don't get on the wheel. If you're on the wheel, or if you're on that merry-go-round, it's like what I heard was like get off it, find a way to get off it. And then they showed me like a treadmill, and it's like there are 3 different speeds on there, but there was like a fast-paced speed on there. I was like, oh, so they're saying get off the treadmill. So there's those sorts of signs, and it may be something that is going on in your mind while we've been in this lockdown period and coming into, you know, the level 3, and it's going to, but it's like there may be a sense of, you know, anxiety or a sense of overthinking about like going into, you know, going back to work. What am I going, and think about what am I going to change in my life, you know, that's to make things different or easier or, you know, better, and more workable, more pliable, where you're not rushing around and feeling like you are in a rat race or going around in a bloody merry-go-round. So there's that sort of energy that's coming through. So anyway, the 5 of Pentacles is the first card that's come out of this, out of the tarot deck, and there may be, and there's that feeling with the theme around the 5 of Pentacles is that of loss of wealth or faith. So the 5 of Pentacles, really, I'm feeling like more for you. There may be that feeling around it, okay, that there is, you know, you may be in that position where you're thinking about that and about how you're going to recover, you know, and that sort of thing, and also that you may have slipped into that space of thinking and feeling, which is hence this merry-go-round and off that track is part of that as well, running through your mind is part of that, part of the message as well, of how you can get yourself out of that and move forward and what's going to happen. So, and I do, and then, yeah, okay. I think that really explains. So anyway, we're moving into the Tower because this will probably help explain it a bit more. So the Tower typically is about, you know, demolishing down on the, you know, and letting go of things falling away, that of old ideas and thoughts, belief systems and thoughts that have been coming through these belief systems. So, and, you know, an old way of being, an old way of thinking, that sort of thing, and doing things differently. So that's kind of where I feel like May is going to take you, that it'll be, you may be wrestling through some of that and trying to make sense of how it's going to work for you. But I do feel like a lot of it is like you've already come to that conclusion that about this, because the Tower is, you know, about letting go, of allowing things, releasing things that serve you no purpose for your highest good. So we are actually coming up into a full moon on the 7th of May, so it'd be a really good time. It'd probably heighten around, you know, around the 7th of May. So if you're into it, you know, go and do a moon ritual or write something down and burn it, or have a look on Google it about what you can do. Around releasing in the full moon. Gosh, I'm wanting to say new moon because it brings in a new moon, you know, of course it follows. So to create new, you know, allow new things to come in. So it's like demolishing old things. And I feel like the loss of wealth and faith is, you know, is the way you used to think about money as well. So you've had a new way of thinking about what wealth looks like, and what faith looks like for you and how that works. And I do feel like there's a change and that, which is why this Tower has come in here to let you know that, you know, things are breaking away. However, it takes us to do the work and allow that to go, which is going back to you. We've got to let it go. You've got to let it go. That's in your hands, okay? All that stuff is in our own hands to process that and find a way, or allow, actually, because I feel like they're bringing you the tools where, you know what you need to do. It's, cool. Anyway, because, you know what? When we allow shit to go away or stuff to go away, when we process it, things seem to happen, so because this is the Ace of Pentacles that's come out. So typically, of course, the Ace of Pentacles is about finance, money, and career, and there's a gift. So don't let it, because I just dropped that and I'm just thinking, don't let that fall away, or don't let that fall out of your hands, or don't let that fall, don't let that, just fall by the way, basically. That's what they're trying to say. So there's a gift, or a financial opportunity that comes your way. And I feel like for some of you who may not necessarily see that in its entirety, but don't, I'm just feeling like don't throw it away. That this is which is why they're saying like don't let it fall by the way. So the next card out is the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is, he's gathering up his stuff, and he's, running off with it, taking off with it, all of his thoughts and things like that. And I just want to say treasures and things in it. I feel like the treasures are coming with the thoughts of things, though, but it's a time for tact rather than aggression. So it's just being mindful, I feel like, around that time about what is, with this new beginning, even though there's something bigger coming from that. And it's like, I feel like there's, with this new beginning, there's a, it's like, because even though, like you're saying that he's running there, he's got all the swords, he's got all these bits and pieces, in there, but it's like, what I'm hearing is like, running with it, yes, but being mindful of the speed in which you run. And I feel like there's that, it's somebody, also I feel like somebody might run the other way, and you might run to it. So, and it's like, oh, well, I'm going to do this. So there's that sort of, anyway, because it's like it feels right for you. Yeah, does that make sense? It might do when you get there. Probably will do when you get there. It could be happening with you right now. Okay, so anyway, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles here turns up. And, the theme of the Ten of Pentacles is, the passing of positive traditions. And so when I'm seeing that there's something that's happening, obviously, I'm feeling that obviously, and I'm saying obviously around to do with finances and money, but also not even that, because abundance comes in many ways. So there could be a connection with this whole new beginning as in a new way of thinking and bringing in family together that can bring like a family project, or family, but something's come right within the family that you can now move forward with stuff, and it's like you're pretty well settled, in that you can actually do it, and they'll come along with you, or they'll follow you or support you. But I just feel like, because that's like really, like it says, a time for tact rather than aggression. So it's just, I feel like that's just watching and being mindful that there are other people to consider, even though you want to go for it. It's about communication, and letting people know your feelings and emotions about it, but more so your thoughts and what actions you're going to take, and what you need to take, and discussing it with others, and that there may be some life challenges, and this is a life challenge. It's whether we're going to do this together, as a unit, as a unified, and what support can you give me? Like we're just hearing, even I'm going to do this on my own, or I may need to, but I need to know that you've got my back, sort of thing. And obviously, I feel like there's I want to say, obviously, you'll have theirs. Does that make sense? Yes, of course it does. So there's all that sort of thinking and feeling behind it all as well. Okay. So then we have the High Priestess. So there is some information that will probably come, because the High Priestess is, she is about, secrets revealed and mysteries uncovered. So there may be some things like, that are coming forth that you may not totally know about. So there's that feeling like, going back to this time for tact rather than aggression, that you may not, and, with the backing of the people, you're following your group, or, whoever it is, whatever they do, it could be your employers or your employees, or your team, or, not just family, in the way that you're going. So it's about, you're going to have to wait, and also to some degree, but be patient is the word I'm hearing. So the rest of the information, until the rest of the information becomes available, and so the rest of the information comes to light, okay, as well. So the thing is, like, if with the High Priestess, if if she's pushed, if push comes to shove, it's it may not be a good thing, because and what I'm hearing about that is, like, sometimes we can run too fast and we can try and make things happen, when probably needing to, like, the messages there is just to slow down, maybe pause, not so much wait, but pause, maybe wait for some of yous, and just, like, keep doing other things, and until the rest of the information comes through. And because I feel like, yeah, obviously there's that, I keep saying obviously, it's not so obvious for some of you at the moment, but you will find out what they mean. So there's, we're going through an interesting time. So yeah, there's that Six of Swords has come out. So there's a move, or a sense of a move away from strife, and with the swords, and and so I feel like there's things start to get moving through May, and you starting to get more of an idea about what's happening, where you're going, how it can happen, what it can look like. So there's something about like putting you'll be able to move and make a more structured plan, or more structured goals for the future. Basically, at the moment, there's a plan or an idea, and ideas and goals, but yeah, it's like still there's a little bit of mucking around, playing around as to how it actually could look for you better. Cool. So awesome. Oh gosh, that one's flipped out. Okay, the Fool. Okay, that's really interesting, and that's pretty cool, because I love the Fool. The Fool is about new beginnings as well. And, the theme around this is the urge to change overcomes the fear involved. And that, I love the way they say that. But really, it's about, another way of saying that or expressing that is, taking a leap of faith. So there seems to be, there must be, I want to say must be for some reason, but there could be for some of you, and is because they're putting it forward when they say must be. There's some sort of a something must come up where it will, it will challenge you to be taking a leap of faith in some way or form. And that will, because he's walking away, he's free as I was going to say a bee, because there's a butterfly in there, and a butterfly for me symbolizes freedom, and he's like the sun shining in his face, and he's got a care in the world, and he's walking away. He's walking, but he's going to walk over a cliff, and the dog. Let's look at the dog. Is looking at him and say, "What are you doing? Where are you going? Do you know where you're going?" Blah blah blah. And I just feel like there's within, like there is that thing, and that of taking a leap of faith in something or someone somewhere along the line in May. Okay. Sounds super exciting. And I just want to, because this is like, when I hear it, I'm just hearing like, the universe has got your back. We've just got to not get in the way. We've just not let ourselves get in the way of creating things for ourselves, and not letting other people's fears or thoughts come into it. Like, because it's like there's the Fool comes, like, I heard, that message come through. It's not worrying about what other people's fears. It's and make it yours, because this is what can happen. And then we're like, oh, what if other people think da 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 da? So it's like, whew, this is about you, walking in your own truth and your own light. Yeah, so it's all nice and quiet now. And I was wanting to, I don't want to do that anymore. So, okay, there we go. The last two cards have just popped out. So, far out. That's just amazing. It's like stopped and stunned me, because you've just got, you've got so many like different. There's lots of them. Yeah, far out. Anyway, there are changes. The Wheel of Fortune has come out, And, there are changes in fortune, which is what the, Wheel of Fortune is about. However, when you look in there, when you look at that, there's the wheel, and she's in the middle, but her eyes, she's blindfolded, and then there's the 4 stages of, wealth, you could say. So there are times when we may be on our, on our knees, like with no money, and then we make a coming up around, we start climbing up and getting, making our way. So they're showing us like the ups and downs. So we pick ourselves up, we reach the top at times, and sometimes we need to, like knuckle down, and sometimes we can be, I guess, what I'm trying to say, what they're trying to say is like there are highs and lows in our lives at times with fortune, with in abundance, and of wealth, especially on the money side and stuff like that. But so it's like I just feel, which is where this, like the Fool comes in, that leap of faith that's coming in there, that energy, and then you have the Sun. The Sun's come out as your last card. And, that's about joy, optimism, and clarity of vision and that sort of thing. When I look at this card, there's the Sun with all its rays beaming out, but it's not just yellow rays. These are blue rays and orange rays as well as yellow rays. But this horse, look at the horse. It's a huge horse. And look at the size of you. And this beautiful horse, and the sun is big and large, and there are flowers in the background. There's like, what are they? Sunflowers, So there is light. There is light. It's just keeping, the sun is showing you the way. So follow the sun, basically, is what I'm hearing from there. Oh my gosh. So yeah, keep the faith. And I just feel like there's a change in, with this one here is keeping the faith, because, there's changes in fortune. It comes and goes. It goes round in circles. So that's what the sun is telling you. It's just, having that, keeping the faith, holding the faith, and keeping that optimism there. Oh, well, anyway, I'm going to leave that with you now, Virgo. So love, peace, harmony, and joy, excitement, and adventure. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, or give me a thumbs up if it resonates, or leave a comment. Anyway, bye for now. Yeah, I'll see you next week.